Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, Mr. Moohead, and joining me is Bronk and Merry Old England. And you could be part of the show too, as I am going to right now in the comments section. I was supposed to have put something up, and there it is. If you want to be in the studio, just click on the link and jump in. I mean, we accept all kinds of credit cards.
Exactly.
I want to start out the program with something that I think is just so fucking hilarious that I just my every social media feed is full of. God, did you see the new Cracker Barrel logo? How could they take away the old logo? And how could they put that new one on? They're woke. That's what they are. They're woke.
Yeah, now, you need Tommy Heinsohn voice for this, I think.
Yeah. I think they're woke. That word is becoming the most one-size-fits-all word in history. Now, somebody explain to me. Take a look at what's on your screen, the old on the left and the new on the right.
Yeah.
What is woke about the one on the right? Here's what I see, okay? On the left, I see the original logo, which is an old man leaning on a barrel at a place called Cracker Barrel. And on the right, I see a cold, barren corporate company who didn't know what to do to image the place, so they just threw up a cold corporate logo. And the reason is in their minds, we're going to modernize Cracker Barrel. But the thing that's funny is, it doesn't matter what they do, because Cracker Barrel fucking sucks. It doesn't matter what you do with it. They serve canned green beans. Welcome to home-style food. They make fake mashed potatoes. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. And then I'm reading, and everyone's chiming in on my timeline. And former actor and current old codger James Woods, remember him?
Is he about 90 years old now?
Oh, yeah. And he's just going off saying, I remember that I used to go to Cracker Barrel and really enjoyed a meal there, and several meals there, and it was a great place, but I guarantee you I'll never go there again. Well, you're not going to be alive tomorrow, you old fuck. I mean, for God's sakes, do you really think that James Woods, when he was making millions of dollars, that he was hanging out in Cracker Barrels? Here's the problem with Cracker Barrel, and then I'll get on with the show. 40 years ago, Cracker Barrel had nothing but customers who were blue hairs, all right? Look, I'm 68 years old now, and look, I'm a senior citizen in the jargon of the United States.
We are.
And I was there 40 years ago. And people my age were the ones who were eating there. This place was the land that time forgot. And I can't for the life of me understand why somebody would have bought it. Second of all, why it still exists. And, the idea of comfort food. All you need to do is look at every place that was like Duff's Famous Smorgasbord. Or I could name a bunch of them because us fat guys used to eat at all the buffets. The
buffets, yeah.
The old country buffet. Now, I'll tell you what would make them woke. All right?
Okay.
If the new logo on the right was the picture of an old man dressed like a woman with large breasts.
What?
Leaning on the barrel. Well, that would be okay. That's going a little bit too far. This is like transgender old Cracker Barrel. I mean, and no, I don't feel like I'm at home here. I'm really it's creepy and I'm uncomfortable. But there's nothing creepy and uncomfortable about a lousy, cold, brazen corporate logo. So I think people should just stop it, okay? And I get a kick out of this stuff. And I'm getting a kick out of a lot of stuff that is being said on social media about our Cleveland Browns. I didn't even
Our
bother
Cleveland
reading the
Browns.
article that they were the number 32 team, the team that you least want to watch this football season. I mean, everything is just you learn not to read it because it's like
You've already seen it. You want to get on with your life,
what they're going to do is they're going to index you. If you're a Browns fan and you go to ESPN
Right.
and you're always looking up Browns news, they're going
Yeah.
to index you and you're going to be welcomed by something that says, your mother's a whore. Okay, that's
Correct.
what it's
Yeah.
coming down to. It's like you're a Browns fan, it's like you're going to take our shit. And from the minute you get on the site, we're going to have a message for you, eat dick.
Eat dicks.
Yeah, I mean,
You
yeah.
you dick eater. Yes.
So, at any rate, now I'm going to stop that screen share, and I'm going to do another one because this is a little bit more of interest to Browns fans. Albert Breer, who is the MMQB senior NFL reporter, senior, he goes to Cracker Barrel.
Is he a Hall of Fame reporter by any chance? Because I only take Hall of Fame reporters seriously.
Yeah.
I don't take anybody else seriously.
Here's a stammering explanation about Shedeur Sanders' sudden drop as far in the draft. They're still trying to dig out of the rubble that they have created. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share the screen on the Dan Patrick Show and share it.
God,
all right.
Dan Patrick.
All right. So here we go. Get ready to listen to the most rambling, ridiculous explanation you could possibly hear in your life. And here we go.
Eric Dickerson was on a radio show, Fred Rogan and Rodney Peete on AM 570, and had this to say about Shedeur Sanders.
And I'll tell you this much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
Really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
Your thoughts, Albert?
Yeah, I always think these sorts of conspiracies are a little overdone. I don't think there was any conspiracy here. I think it's relatively simple what happened. I think the great majority of NFL teams did not view him as a first-round prospect, contrary to what had been out there for the year previous.
You're reporting.
And then I think what happens is once you get past the first round, you look at the history over the years, not a lot of quarterbacks go in the second or third.
Now, wait a minute. Not a lot of quarterbacks go in the second and third round every year.
Nonsense.
I mean, who's making this shit up and who wrote this for idiot Albert Breer? We continue.
Rounds. It's just the reality of it, like that.
Right.
Most teams look at it like if there's a guy who's going to be our long-term answer at the position, we just take him in the first round. And if a guy's not going to be your long-term answer at the position, then you probably aren't going to take him in the second or third round because you're going to be looking for a long-term answer at another position with those picks.
And how did Tom Brady make it to the seventh round, Albert? We'll continue.
So the fate of Shedeur Sanders, I think he fell out of the first round for football reasons. I think he kept falling for everything else, right? Like for the fact that most coaches look at their backup quarterbacks and say, I want you to blend in with the furniture. I don't want to notice that you're even
painful.
here. That's the way, for better or worse, most teams approach the quarterback position, which I think to some degree short-circuited the careers of guys like Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick. So,
what? Tim Tebow couldn't throw the football. Colin Kaepernick was black. I don't know what this idiot is rambling on about, but he's cuckoo. Here's some more.
So I Shedeur's case was complicated going into the draft, but I don't think it was that complicated where there was some sort of weird conspiracy to keep him out of the league.
Yeah, from what I was told by a source, he didn't interview well. He kind of came in and he was interviewing teams instead of the other way around.
Back to that.
And you're right. He didn't have first-round talent. There was nothing exceptional about him except for maybe his toughness and his pedigree. But I can't imagine
What does that
all of
mean?
these owners getting together and somebody saying, hey,
He's being likened to an offspring of Secretariat.
Exactly.
hey, everybody,
Fucking
listen,
breeding.
don't draft Shador Sanders. Do I think the
Especially-
Browns... Yeah, go
Especially
ahead.
when there's somebody with the bullhorn that Dion has on the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
That seems like ridiculous. That seems like the wrong tree to bark up, doesn't it, Dan?
But that's exactly the tree they barked up. So, congratulations. And now that's all everybody's talking about on the internet. Another bad decision made by the NFL because it doesn't matter how many bad mistakes they make. The honest part of it is they'll still make a ton of money.
Oh God, yeah. And now they own 10% of ESPN, so they'll get all the advertising revenue from that. So crazy. I don't know. That was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where you start on
Wait.
that one.
Are we getting feedback here?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm
We are getting feedback. Well, that's weird.
I'm not hearing any feedback. I'm hearing it nice and
And it's my microphone doing it.
I don't know. It's fine on the broadcast, I believe. Don't know whether anybody else can confirm that.
This is this is going to be a problem.
Maybe you got an extra instance going on your PC.
That's the only thing I can think of too.
Yeah, because no
and
one.
well done, Bronx. Something else had pulled up on here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm not just a pretty face, my friend.
Neither am I. So this is all that's going to be talked about right now in the NFL. So again, I want to make one thing really clear before we get into tomorrow's game and the halftime game and the post-game show. I really want all three quarterbacks to play well.
Oh God, yeah.
Because Joe
everybody
Flacco
should do.
Flacco has to start. He's the only one who has NFL experience. And, let him duke it out. Let Gabriel and Sanders duke it out. That's fine. I got no problem with it. And I can tell you what I believe the whole situation is. I think that Shador is a bit immature. And when you come in with a certain reputation that you're a big man on campus and you're, again, what Albert Breer was saying, the child of pedigree NFL football.
That sounds like eugenics, that shit.
Yeah, I know. And then you start going 100 plus miles an hour in Strongsville.
Yeah.
And you draw attention to yourself that way. People were just waiting. See, I told you so. See, I told you so. But it still doesn't answer the original question. If any of these teams that need quarterbacks, and God, some of the
six of them.
Some of these preseason games.
The Saints, my God.
Who in the hell are these people? And they're terrible, and they have nothing to choose from. And you're telling me that those 6 teams wouldn't have jumped on Shador? What do they have to lose? They didn't have anything to draft, and they weren't in a good draft position. But he was there, and he was there, and he was there round after round.
He's there for 3 fucking days.
And you're telling me that every one of those teams, and there's really closer to 10 teams in the NFL that are really running on fumes at the quarterback position. And it's like, you're telling me that none of them would have taken a shot? If you're looking at the scroller, here's Anthony Lima of 92.3 FM He's got to be failing every test. I don't know any other way this could be possible that Shador is fourth on the depth chart, other than that they don't think he can do any of the stuff related to running the offense. He doesn't have the necessities? Is that the argument we're making? Is this like going all the way back to Major League Baseball in the 1970s and Al Campanis? I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a thing is that to even suggest? And the answer is he's fourth on the depth chart because he came in with a lot of notoriety and publicity, and he got nailed for speeding a couple times, and he is rather flamboyant, and the team, the Browns, who did draft him, wanted to make sure that they didn't make the mistake that they made with Johnny Manziel. Now, and of course, we all remember that. And I wanted to bring something up here, if I still have this. This was, I use AI sometimes because, the AI overview, Grok,
Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you can get some pretty funny results out of it. But I asked the most arrogant rookie quarterbacks in NFL history.
Did you? Oh, this has got to be run through this list. Or
Oh,
put
yeah,
it up
yeah.
Share the screen.
And it says, attributing arrogance to a rookie NFL quarterback can be subjective. It is often based on speculation. However, some past NFL rookie quarterbacks have been perceived as arrogant by fans, analysts, for various reasons. Including Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
I'm Superman. But
Correct.
not for long. Josh Rosen. You remember him?
Rosen.
Oh, my God. Hey there, my name is Rosen, and I was the chosen one.
Yeah.
Remember that? And number 3, Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel's got to be in the top 5. What about Jeff George? Is he in there?
No, I mean, he was just unpopular
He's just
with his teammates.
Yeah.
And I'm now digging deeper into this.
Ooh, get the hooves in.
So get this. So I already said Johnny Manziel and Cam Newton. The next one on the list, Shador Sanders.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Now you see,
he hasn't earned that spot. He has not earned that.
This is the poison.
He's not arrogant. He's not.
It's the poison of social media. It's like
he's not.
Johnny Manziel went like this. You know why he went like this?
Yep.
Because he wanted to make more money. That's why he was a greedy little fucker.
He didn't want to work. He didn't want to work for it. He didn't want to watch
No.
train or do.
He wanted to drink and party and have women
and still make money
and do drugs. Yep. That's what Johnny Manziel wanted
to do.
Now, and Shador is nothing like that. He may
nothing
like
that
women, and but he is not animated like that. Cam Newton really turned people off. We know that Kaepernick, because of a political stance, turned people off, and so when I'm reading what AI is saying about Shador Sanders, drafted by the Browns in 2025, faced reports of brash and arrogant behavior during the NFL Combine interviews. His father is not far behind.
Nothing to do with him.
Threatened to reveal the coach who made the comment. Sanders stated, "Words or anything, it can't do anything to me," and later dismissed comments perceived as a slight against him. Well, here's what I think. I think that the way that he presented himself recently in front of the Cleveland press was exactly what he was supposed to do. And it bothers me that even the foolishness that you can look up from AI spitting shit out at you in the world of fantasy on the internet. Shador, here's some quotes. "I really don't look at the backup spot. I don't care. Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play. Whenever it's time for the lights to come on, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not concerned about when it is. I'm not concerned about how many reps I'm getting at this point. It is what it is because I know when the lights come on, when everything is going on, when the pressure is on, you know who I am. All right. That was his quote in his latest press conference. Here's more. I like it when there are positive things happening. I don't like to be negative about too much of anything because I know everybody works hard. A lot of people work hard. Life is hard. So who am I to complain when you sit back and you think of everything in the grand scheme of things? So I don't even really try to even get down. Whenever I feel a little bit down, I just constantly remind myself, you can't be feeling that way. Regardless of physically, if I don't feel my best, I still have to go out there and execute with no excuses. Now, here's a guy who hasn't asked for a single excuse. He's not asking for any pity. He's actually trying to get inner city high school students to the game because,
Oh, bless him.
yeah, get tickets, and he's mingling with the public, and he understands that when you're in a city, you're in a city.
Yeah.
Do you really think that he grew up thinking he was going to be a Colorado Buffalo?
No.
Hell no. And the reason that I can relate to all of this is that when I was 24 years old and had done nothing in life, really, I knew I was going to. And if you asked me, I would casually tell you what I was going to do. All right? And here is the first time story that you're going to hear, Bronk.
Okay.
When I was 26 years old, I had a plan. And the plan was, and this will tell you how money was different in those days. I said, by the time I reach my 30th birthday, I want to be making as many thousands of dollars per year as the years I've lived. That'd be $30,000.
Yeah.
By the time I'm 40, I'm going to be a millionaire. And people would look at me like, that arrogant prick. That arrogant prick. And the funny thing is, 40 years of age was 1997. That was the year that I sold WWCK AM and FM in Flint, Michigan. And I checked that off the list. So sometimes out of the mouth of babes, if you have confidence in yourself, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, confidence is so important.
If you don't think you're going to win, you're
You
out of the
won't.
game. You're out of the game to begin with. And I'll be the first one to admit, when I was a young guy, I was cocky, I was arrogant, and I was outspoken. And, when I got my chance, I really cooled off and I became a lot more cerebral, shall we say. But I don't see anything wrong with what Shadur's doing. And I also don't think that there's anything wrong with what Dylan Gabriel is doing.
Correct.
I think they're two young men who have a very different approach to the game of football. And if you listen to what Dylan Gabriel said in his press conference when they asked him about the pick six that he threw, he said, that's probably one that I should have just scrambled down or thrown away.
Yeah.
He says, but I'm a gunslinger. So
That could be viewed as arrogant.
honest to God, if you're going to say that what Shadur's saying is like, God, he's kind of a cocky guy. Well, it's like, well, so is
Gabriel, yeah.
Gabriel is just
That's what
quieter.
you want, though. That is exactly what you want.
Yeah, you got to have confidence in yourself. And stop and think of Baker Mayfield.
They're no different from what Baker Mayfield was coming into the league.
No.
Absolutely zero difference.
So if you were a big Baker Mayfield fan because, he got out of bed feeling dangerous, okay, If you really liked that
All
style of
that.
guy and who would jump up and down or who would plant a flag in the middle of the field at Ohio State University after winning, or hopping up and down on the field and stomping and running after the receiver that was running into the end zone.
Yep.
If you like that kind of thing, then you can't dislike it in another player.
Correct.
But it has to be if they're achieving something. And
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield in 2020 really did accomplish something because he came to a team that really sucked. And he helped turn the team around.
They hadn't won a game in so long that Bud Light had fucking refrigerators full of beer waiting to unlock for how long? I mean, remember that, man. For winning that one game against the Jets in New York, he should have his name up on the fucking stadium. So
yeah, and again, people say, "Well, you're not a big Baker guy."
Well,
And
neither am I, but
the fact is that Baker Mayfield is not Tom Brady.
No.
But for the Browns franchise, he gave an infusion of
gave
exuberance.
Hope. Yeah.
Got us up to 500.
Yep.
And that's what he's done for the Tampa Bay team.
Yep.
He's gotten them up to just above 500 or close to that 500 line
9
and
8.
Gotten them into the playoffs and then lost.
Yep.
And, there's only a few people who can be, the quarterbacks who win multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah, there's only one Highlander at any one time,
Right. And obviously, I don't criticize Baker because he didn't win a Super Bowl with the Browns because the Browns weren't
could.
They weren't Super Bowl worthy.
Yeah, no one could.
Idiot Haslam picks the wrong people. I mean, it's just not going to happen. All right. So now you'll have Flacco, who they say is going to play 20 to 25 plays.
I don't think he'll play that many, but we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what it's got a lot to do with. First of all, what you have to remember about the starts that we've witnessed by Shedeur and Dylan were that they were scripted plays.
Correct. They all were, yeah.
When they came into that game, they knew. So
the other team knew too.
If you saw the start that Dylan Gabriel got off to, he completed 8 of his first 9 passes.
Yeah.
He was en fuego, but he was putting the ball right on
where
the money.
It should be. Because they practiced it and practiced it and practiced it.
And those plays were drummed in, and both of these guys are young quarterbacks, and we don't know the scope of their knowledge of the entire playbook, but these were scripted plays. When things got a little bit later, he was 5 for 9 in his last passes before the half. Yeah. And so he was 13 of 18 for the game, and he had a pick 6 and a fumble. And the fumble and the pick 6 happened in the back end. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, as soon as he went off the scripted plays, and once he threw the pick, he really panicked. I'm not going to tell you that.
He didn't really.
He's a young player, and he has, in his mind, his mentality is that he's a gunslinger. And the same thing as Joe Flacco. Very quiet. He's like the quiet mercenary. That's what Dylan Gabriel's like, personality-wise. Yeah. Dylan Gabriel doesn't have the arm, obviously, that Joe Flacco has, even when he's 40 years old. But they both have a gunslinger mentality. I can fit the ball through a very narrow window. That's the kind of guys they are. Yeah. So, and as far as Shedeur was concerned, his plays were scripted too.
Yeah.
And, what he did is he made some very nice throws, just like Dylan did. And I'm high on both men because it's like, hey, considering that we got 3rd and 5th round quarterback picks, these two guys aren't bad.
Yeah, they're like ice cream, but different flavors of ice cream, and nobody doesn't like ice cream.
And Mr. Be Safe, would I trade Shedeur for a 3rd pick? I mean, this
Absolutely
is the 3rd pick, this second, and there's the 3rd pick for you, okay? No.
Absolutely not.
At this point, how do you know who's going to be available for the Browns in the draft next year? The guy that you might think is a can't-miss guy could dislocate his entire throwing arm and not play at all.
Or just be shit.
Yeah, you just don't know. If you have two guys that you feel pretty good about, good enough because you have a sissy quarterback in Kenny Pickett who wouldn't play with a hamstring issue and was thinking he could just freeload his way onto the team. And he's the one who I see as the effeminate one in the entire equation.
He is pretty, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this guy is tough enough to play at the professional level. And you're really, you can't think that just because you played with, well, technically you played with one team and then you played one game with another team, and that's it for your NFL experience, that you had the roster made. If you think that way, you're not competitive enough. So I like having two competitive young guys. And if they're competing against one another, and if there are feelings between the two of them, I want to bring up one other point that really bothers me about this.
Go for it.
When they pressed Shador in his press conference and said, well, they're saying that Gabriel said this about you. Do you think he was talking about you? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, but it doesn't matter because, I think of myself the way I think of myself, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my job.
Which is the correct answer. It's the best
but
answer.
People ended up saying, what an answer that was. And, but let me ask you honestly.
Okay.
How can any person know if the other party is prevaricating? That's a big word for lying. Okay.
Yeah.
How can Shador or anyone else know what Dylan Gabriel meant by the words that he said? I can tell you this much. It didn't come off well, and he had to kind of broaden the explanation within hours.
Yeah,
he had to kind of grab that back. But can I say what he meant? Hell no.
No.
Nobody has that ability. No. I mean, if you had that ability, then you would know in pregame interviews with the other team what they were saying. And it's like, oh, well, they're lying. I could look right into their minds and tell. That's not what they meant. It's the stupidest thing in the world. These two guys are going to get a chance for the dream of their life to raise up the totem pole, to be behind a 40-year-old quarterback who's probably not really going to last that long.
It's like your two sons behind a 90-year-old king who is going to die, and you both have equal claims to the throne. That's really what it is, We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because, again, it's pressure.
Correct.
You're in your own town now, and
it's a home game. That's more pressure than being on the road for these guys.
And not only that, but everybody in the media has made this such a damn big deal. Yeah. And it's going to be on national television, so everybody's going to see how Dylan does and how Shador does.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to make a decision for themselves, and people will only see what they want to see and will only hear what they want to hear. And the reason I say that, if you honestly believe that the new Cracker Barrel logo is woke, you're just trying to read things into things. And the same thing is true with this whole Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders thing. Yeah. These are two young men trying to forge a professional career for themselves, and have the decency to let them do great things and to make mistakes, because there isn't a quarterback. I'm not jumping all over it for Dylan for throwing a pick six. I mean, it's not like I'm leveraging things because I want Shador to win the battle. I want the best guy to win the battle so that we have the best quarterback we can have. And I wish that we had a running back. But Dylan Sampson,
Absolutely.
he kind of looks like when he hits the line of scrimmage, he kind of looks like playing
Droopy
Jenga.
dog. Yeah.
He's a Jenga running back.
Yeah.
Oops, crunch down. He's down. Down goes Sampson.
Simpson.
Down goes Sampson. Yeah. So, and Judkins, he's never gonna play. I mean,
He's
can
never
you?
gonna play.
You know what's amazing?
What's
What's amazing to me is that the Brown strategy was the way we're going to go back to the Kevin Stefanski methodology is we're going to double and triple down on the kinds of play calling and the type of running plays, blocking schemes, and 3 tight ends that were successful earlier in his career. That's what we're going to do.
With
and so
totally different skill players.
Yep, but we have a draft, and so they drafted 2 running backs, and neither of them
Are shit.
are playing.
Yeah.
They're still talking Jerome Ford.
Oh, make it stop.
I know. So you're asking Shador or Dylan or Joe
To play
to turn
with
this
that?
team into a winner. Joe's just happy that his career is still going, and I don't understand that either. He's done what he's needed to do, and he should go home to his family and be healthy. He shouldn't subject himself to
Yeah,
this.
because he's in real danger of having
Getting really
short
hurt.
life, having a short life.
And I would hate to see that because
He's a
Joe
nice
Flacco
guy.
did a great job for the Ravens. He's done he did a great job for considering he came to a Browns team that had nothing going, and he just jump started it himself by just putting up 300-yard passing games. Pretty remarkable for a guy who was at the time 39.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing stuff, and the zip that he still had on the ball. So I don't want anything bad to happen, but the reality is you wanted to draft running backs, and look at Travion Henderson. Everybody's raving about him.
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
passed on him.
That's the wrong trousers, Gromit, as they say here.
I mean, and just look at this. Here, the final practice of the week, Denzel Ward, he didn't play. Cedric Tillman, he didn't participate. Winston Reed, the linebacker,
Dead.
back injury. Cornelius Lucas, the offensive tackle,
Dead.
Bill not playing. I don't know what we're going into this game with, but it ain't pretty. It isn't pretty at all. And, I don't care that Dylan Gabriel's starting or Shador Sanders is starting. They're both going to have to play behind because that the first stringers, the offensive line is going to be on the field for Flacco. And then as soon as Dylan runs out, a bunch of replacements.
We're gone. Bye.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Here you go, young fella. Here's the ball.
Yeah. I mean, it's unreal. So Dylan Gabriel's last start, he had Jamari Thrash caught 3 passes, Caden Davis 1, Cedric Tillman 1, Deontay Johnson 1. Deontay who?
If he makes the team, I'll be absolutely shocked.
Blake Whiteheart, how did I get here in this pattern? Wait, that's the other team going the wrong way with the ball. And Pierre Strong had 1 catch, all right? And Gabriel was sacked 1 time, all right? So that's what the deal was. And Gabriel did not try to run with the football. Shador did scramble for a first down. I don't know. I don't think that either of those guys is going to get a whole hell of a lot done with their legs, but be that as it may,
not against number ones. They ain't gonna do shit with their legs against number ones. So,
and here's from ESPN, how are all the draft picks performing in their
the NFL's own ESPN.
Yes. Mason
be
Graham.
unbiased.
Mason Graham is learning a whole new defensive scheme, and this hasn't really been publicized that much because he was dealing with double teams so that other people could come free, right?
Right.
But they're asking him to penetrate more instead of taking on the double teams. So but by all accounts, he's making strides, and he's projected to start in week 1.
That means he's shit, basically, if
Well,
they're saying that.
A defensive tackle who could rush the quarterback is everyone's dream when you have Myles Garrett on the end.
Correct.
And they figure Miles is going to get the double team every time. We don't need, Mason Graham to be concerning himself with double teams. He's got to beat the man in front of him and get, he's got to Michael Dean Perry him. He's got to get into the backfield, snuff out the run, and get pressure on. Meanwhile, Carson Schwezinger, that's an interesting. I saw video of him pick off Joe Flacco. I don't know if you saw that. I was going to share that.
No. If you have it, I'll watch it.
I don't have it with me, but he read Flacco's eyes, cut right out in front. It would have been a pick six. Okay. It doesn't make you feel real good.
That bodes well when our rookies are picking off our 40-year-old quarterback. Yeah.
And he is our defensive play caller. With JOK down probably forever, Schlesinger is being groomed for big things.
Yeah, we got that grooming gang of Schwartz sorting him out.
And then you have your round 2, number 36 pick Quinshawn Judkins, who, we're waiting for the NFL.
We're waiting for Thanksgiving.
Make a judgment on him. And you know what that means. It's like, he's guilty.
He's not playing till Thanksgiving.
Team doesn't believe in him at all. Why did they choose him over Travion Henderson? I have no idea. They just don't do their homework. I could tell you this, and I'm not like a Bula college football fan, but when I watched Ohio State play, Travion Henderson had much more big play capability.
Yeah,
than
you look stronger Judkins. Too. You look stronger.
And, Quinshawn Judkins was kind of like, all right, he's more of an inside runner guy.
Yeah.
And Travion would be a poor man's Nick Chubb who had speed and could break something for distance. Yeah. Whereas Quinshawn would be getting the harder yardage inside. And it's very similar to the 1-2 punch that we had when Chubb was playing. And, and we had, now his name is running out of my mind. Kareem Hunt. He got the dirty yardage, when you needed to move the sticks, that was your guy. But I can't tell you anything about Quinshawn Judkins because, all I can tell you is that Dylan Sampson has done nothing. Harold Fannin Jr., on the other hand, he's the other guy in the 2 tight end set, but so was Harrison Bryant. So let's not get carried away. Fannon's they're going to try to get the ball to him in a lot of different ways. With Njoku in the game, blocking becomes an important thing. And that's what they like about Fannin Jr. as well, is that he's not afraid to go after it blocking. So he's not just a target out there, but he's actually going to try to mow people over as well. The next one is Dylan Gabriel, number 94, in round 3. This is where quarterbacks are never picked, according to Albert Breer.
Correct. We've picked loads of quarterbacks in the 3rd round. They've all been shit. So
I just I don't get it.
I think Kaiser maybe, definitely that USC guy whose name escapes me, Kessler. Yeah.
Here's what I think, and again, they're going to accuse me of starting all kinds of conspiracy theories, and I don't know any of this, but, is this a money issue? And they're saying that Quinshawn wants guaranteed money. All right. Or is it a suspension issue? A potential.
Why not both?
Well, I mean, there may be truth to both of those things, but honestly, the Browns don't seem in any hurry or rush. They obviously don't believe that the NFL is going to let them off scot-free. I got to be honest with you. For 5 fucking rounds, Shador sat there.
Yeah. And we drafted these numbers.
And the Browns, so Jimmy goes, woo! I know they told me not to do it, but woo! I'm Jimmy Haslam. And I piss everybody off.
I do whatever I want.
Yeah, and so he goes ahead. He's like, hey, a homeless man told me to take Johnny. Woo! Yeah. So he makes the call. He drafts the guy. Do you think the NFL is going to let the Cleveland Browns know about their running back, their number 2, round 2 running back?
We're fucked regardless.
Absolutely.
We are fucked regardless.
They're going to hold.
We're really going to do him now.
They're going to hold Jimmy's feet over the fire. I mean, but that's who Jimmy Haslam is.
Goes.
He just alienates anybody who comes in contact with him. Bad news. So, yeah, I think that both of those things are issues. And of course, Quinshawn wants guaranteed money. He was a second-round pick, and he is not guilty of anything according to the law. But the NFL is a different kind of law. So there's that,
my friend.
Yeah, when you hear these words, that's right. He's making strides.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can say. It's like, we have full confidence in our coach. That's the worst.
Nobody ever said that shit about Bernie Kosar.
No, he's.
It's like Gary Danielson's our starting quarterback. He was the Joe Flacco of his day, but without the arm. And he, it's like he'll be out there long enough. And then when I remember when Bernie ran in from the sidelines.
It was like a hush.
The place erupted. It's like, hey, there's the guy from Youngstown. Yeah. There's our guy. That's our future quarterback. That's the one.
That's our guy.
And Gary Danielson trotted off the field because he wished Kosar well. Because he knew what his role was. Now, the problem with Flacco is that Flacco thinks he's going to play 16, 17 games and that this is his and nobody else's. He's fooling himself because there has to be a future for a team, and it can't be a 40-year-old quarterback. You got to get behind these young people, and you got to help them along. Yeah. So making strides is not something you want to hear.
That's a terrible thing to hear. Yeah, like you're making strides with this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, right. And again, Isaiah Bond, who will be playing as he's trying to learn the offense, but it can't be a very complicated offense because he's never going to see the ball. So
no, he ain't getting it.
Get out there and block, Isaiah.
No, I'm down here. I'm down here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And yes, they're waiting for the league's verdict and waiting. If you can twiddle your thumbs, yeah, they're just keeping the feet on over the fire. They're just going to roast Jimmy. There are. This is you can guess all kinds of things, Rick. Yeah, this is going to pay for the secondary civil litigation.
He's got to pay his lawyers somehow.
Oh God. Yeah, and I feel bad for Bernie Kosar too.
Well,
I mean, you know what?
Bernie's not young anymore. He's in his 60s.
I'll tell you this: in a league like the NFL, with being slow and gangly,
yeah, you're gonna get killed.
You're gonna get run down from behind. A very dangerous scenario. Oliver Truman, Grandpa's down home country garbage slop. Yeah, I mean, to make Cracker Barrel an issue and calling them woke. I mean, no, the people who go there are asleep. They're not woke. Oh, for God's sakes. I have a field day with stuff like this because this is
Yeah.
the stuff that stand-up comedy is made from, And I was desperately trying to create an AI image and be able to download it of an old man dressed up as a woman leaning on a barrel. I said, now that
Wow.
would have been a woke new logo. But, what do I know? I'm just a cow. The next was Dylan Sampson, who was number 126. And get this, Sampson will make the team. And with Judkin's status up in the air, Sampson will push Jerome Ford for carries in the backfield early on.
That's a backhanded compliment for sure.
Oh,
Wow.
for God's sakes.
We're awful.
Yeah. And then number 144, Shedeur Sanders. He's been quarterback 4 on the depth chart, but impressed to the preseason opener. Flacco is set to start the season as QB1, but Sanders will stick with Cleveland as it continues to develop him. And that's fine. I think it's fine with Shedeur. You want to make sure that when you get your opportunity, you have the best chance to
You have a
succeed.
chance to succeed. Yeah, if you're set up to fail, that's not good.
Yeah, and that's what I wrote. Funny you'd say that, Rich. What I wrote on X, it was like, I remember the early 90s, all right, when they fired all of their gay employees. I don't know. I mean, just go back and look.
Yeah.
There was a lawsuit against Cracker Barrel, and because they had dismissed gay workers.
Oh, I wasn't in the country for that, so I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
And so, I mean, that logo, that put the cracker in Cracker Barrel.
Like a cracker, yeah.
Absolutely. My. Yeah, and that's exactly right, Rick. I mean, I never got it. I never understood it. But the one thing I can tell you is there's two things. When you're very young, you don't have developed
Taste
taste
Yeah.
buds. That's right. That's why kids love chicken McNuggets. They have no flavor. They have no discernible flavor
absolutely.
whatsoever. And when you get older, it's the same way. And that's why cafeterias in my generation were so, whenever you see a cafeteria, it would be nothing but old people in there
Correct.
because they couldn't taste anything anyway.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
So the thing that's interesting about the game coming up on Saturday, and by the way, we will be doing a halftime and post-game show, so I'm going to be around, and I'm going to be watching very, very closely. And they're saying 20 to 25 scripted plays, and my feeling is that as a reward, if they go out and run a crisp offense without making silly mistakes with flags being thrown for early or illegal motion or whatever, and if Flacco is able to move the team, move the flags, and get them in field goal or touchdown range, that he's going to have a shorter day.
Absolutely.
If he
I think
has
that's
more
gonna happen.
If he has more difficulty, he may be
He'll have a
forced to-
longer day, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there is something to be said as far as motivating by letting the 40-year-old man not stay out on the field for too long.
Can I make a request to anybody in Berea who is watching this? Please don't have one of the scripted plays be that horrible 8 yards behind the line swing pass, jet sweep bullshit that loses 7 yards every time. You know the play doesn't work. Let's never see it again. God
No,
damn.
what you're going to see is poor Isaiah Bond, the fastest
Isaiah
guy in
Bond's
the
going to
game.
catch the ball 10 yards deep.
No,
That's
they're going to
a
hand
stupid
off
play.
to him 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and there's going to be a bunch of
Aaron Donald's
screaming
going to be
hellions running at him. He's going to go, no! And that's it.
get killed. I don't want to see. I will go ape if we run that play again. I really don't want to see it.
And Rich is asking me about Pickett, and there are people who are suggesting that he could be had in a trade, and I would move him
at this point.
There is no reason. if you keep him, what you're saying in essence is one of these two
You
young
don't
men
trust the young
who are
quarterback.
playing well and competing hard, that they're not going to get an opportunity, so that this guy who just isn't playing with a hamstring, he's just automatically going to make the team without any damn reps at all.
Yeah, I mean, Mayfield, that one year, he was playing with 5 different injuries.
Yeah.
And this pussy can't play with what he's got. I mean, come on.
And to be honest about the whole thing, if you're Shador and you look at the Browns right now, you're thinking to yourself, if I had my druthers, I would be the starting quarterback next year.
Yes.
Not this year, because we
Yes.
would have those extra.
Yes, extra linemen, hopefully. If
and
they
if-
knew how to fucking draft and free agent.
And if
Yeah.
I was the guy and they determined that I was the guy, they wouldn't be looking for quarterbacks. And they have
Yes.
2 first-round picks, and they could get me some weapons that I could throw the ball to so we could open things up a little bit. But in that whole scenario, then Kevin Stefanski would have to be gone.
Yes. I mean, exactly the point I was going to make, that, yes, it's probably best to be the 3rd string quarterback this year, because you're not going to be the one to get killed. Stefanski's going to get fired, and then you might have a chance to fucking impress a proper coach next year. Exactly right.
So, I mean, that's why making the roster is the important thing for Shador. Carrying the clipboard is important, and learning and the humility of
doing that. Yeah, that
I mean,
doesn't
do you
hurt.
realize that Aaron Rodgers for 5 years sat behind Brett Favre?
The Favre!
and honestly, Aaron Rodgers was considered also one of the most arrogant quarterbacks in
Oh,
history.
God, yeah. He still is.
But sometimes you learn, and when you get your chance, then you really go for it. If it's just handed to you, you end up like Johnny Manziel.
Imagine being Aaron Rodgers, having to stand behind the non-cerebral Brett Favre for all those years, and he went to fucking Cal, and you had to watch that stupid fuck throw interceptions for 5 years. Yeah, unbelievable.
And here's, I will read just the first sentence from Mary Kay Cabot.
Oh, I knew it. I knew this was going to be the Mary Kay Cabot segment.
No, it's going to be very brief.
Brief segment.
Browns fans will get to see the great Dylan Gabriel versus Shador Sanders debate play out on the field. And that's all I'm going to say, because
the rest of it is nonsense, probably.
I want people to understand. I muted her on my X timeline.
Wow.
I've had enough.
You've had enough of the Hall of Famer.
I do not ever. I mean, if people come in and they start doing Nazi talk, yes, I'll block them. Yeah. And I didn't block her. I just muted her, because it's like there's nothing intelligent coming out of what she's typing. I mean, it's foolishness. So,
you're wasting your time reading it, so you did the right thing there.
Yep. And let's see what else is I'm being asked. Do you think at the end of this year that we'll know if we have a future winning quarterback or have to draft one next year?
I hope so.
well, yeah, I honestly believe that Joe Flacco is a placeholder. I've said this before, that he's not going to like it, but nobody's going to care whether he likes it or not. He's 40 and out of the league.
Yeah.
All right. And with the schedule that the league put together for Jimmy Haslam.
Oh, my God.
The first 6
they
games.
Knew that they were going to fuck us, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, so now they're only angrier because they took Shador.
Yep.
Those first 6 games, it would be a miracle if they had, if they had more than one win. Yep. They're going to be 1-5, and the 40-year-old guy can't say, "Hey, I deserve to stay out here," unless he's just being vainglorious. There's no reason for it.
2 wins is like a miracle, I think.
Yeah. But the other thing is that the Rams have a starting quarterback who hasn't done anything. That's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
and
he's getting old.
They have a backup guy who has been doing real well for them.
Oh
A,
God.
a guy named Stetson Bennett.
Oh
And
yeah, Georgia guy. Isn't he Georgia?
well, he played at a little at Jones College, and then I forget which college. Then when he went up to relatively
I
major
believe
college,
he's Georgia.
and he's looked good during the preseason. So, but he's not starting. It's going to be another guy who I've never heard of before. So that he's in a battle with to be the number 2 quarterback. But Bennett has thrown for a good amount of yardage, and
Well,
this other guy, I don't know.
He's like the second coming of Brandon Whedon. I mean, Stetson Bennett is like old. I mean,
27 years old.
He's old, man, for
Yep.
a rookie or whatever he is. I don't know what he is, but
But that, I think, is interesting in and of itself. So if the Browns' defensive line is in the game, it isn't going to be in there for long.
I wouldn't even bother with playing half of him.
This is the last assessment. I mean, for who's going to make the roster, this is the cut down. This is the big 53. This is it. Because it's not like the old days where you could dump them off a little bit at a time. They go all at once. And you want to see them on the field as much as you can. And that's the way this plays out. And it'll be interesting to see who succeeds and who doesn't. By the way, Stetson Bennett, the 4th, that is his name.
The 4th, yes.
Yeah, in their first game of the preseason, he passed for 324 yards. He's really had a good,
yeah.
Yeah, he's really had a good preseason.
Well, he's got a lot of poise. He had a lot of poise at Georgia, man. He's not a chump, He might make it in the NFL.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
We'll see, but we're not going to see much of him. The other guy has to have his say as to whether he's going to, because Stetson Bennett was not the second-string quarterback last year, and he's trying to move up to that position. So, but with Matthew Stafford, again, there's an injury waiting to happen, and it's cut off his whole preseason because he's hurt. So, and arm troubles before that to boot. The quarterback's name is Dresser Wynn. That's the guy who's going to start.
Never heard of him.
He played a handful of snaps in the opener against the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, but only handed the ball off at the end of the game.
Never heard of him.
And last preseason, the Rams took the same exact approach on this. Bennett started the first 2 games before Wynn got the start in the third contest, playing the entire game. Bennett went on to make the Rams' 53-man roster, and given this decision for Saturday's game, it looks like he's on track to do that again.
Yeah, they don't want him to get hurt. I mean, yeah, it's getting near the end of the program, but I would like to see the rosters expanded from 53. I think there's far too many injuries. But I could have a rant about that some other time.
Yeah, and I just wanted to read this headline. This is Terry Pluto.
Oh God!
Can the Guardians make the playoffs despite having the worst batting average in the majors? No. I mean, please. I mean, if you can't put the fucking ball in play, I mean, how many guys you get guys like on in the extra innings where you get the guy on second base,
you can't even score with that.
You got to hit the ball to the right side of the infield, move him to third, then hit a sac fly, and you get the run. They can't do it because they can't put their bat on the ball. They pop it up. They can't even hit it on the ground to the opposite field if they're a right or left-handed hitter. It's pathetic. They can't hit.
Right. They've played 126 games.
And
they have scored less than 500 runs. Now, people that are good at dividing, that's just appalling.
And now
that's bad.
2 stories I wanted to get out of here. If you haven't heard, Jaylen Brown's father is accused of attempted murder in Las Vegas.
No, I hadn't heard of that.
Yep. Quentin Marcellus Brown, that's the father of Jaylen Brown, was charged with attempted murder and booked into the Clark County Detention Center, according to Las Vegas Metro Police. being held on $300,000 bail. He's a former professional boxer, and he's accused of stabbing another man after a door ding incident in a parking lot.
Yeah, well, anger management issues there.
Yes, Stabberoonie. He's,
Yeah.
yeah. He should be a middle linebacker for the Ravens.
Correct.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mr. Knife Guy. Oh, Ray Lewis.
We
So if I ended the show on that note, it would be all right, that can happen. But now, ex-Major League pitcher convicted of murdering his father-in-law is seeking a new trial. Dan Serafini, former Major League pitcher. He's arguing jury bias and incompetent misrepresentation, and also filed to change attorneys.
Wow. Yeah,
Well,
because
this
you
guy-
lost.
Talk about a bad look. All right. He was convicted on charges of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and burglary in a double shooting that killed his father-in-law, injured his mother-in-law at their home in North Lake Tahoe, California.
Wow.
He killed his father-in-law. He's found dead at home from a single gunshot. His wife, Wendy Wood, then was shot twice in the head by Serafini, but survived.
Oh, God. Wow.
But 2 years later, she committed suicide, with the family saying that the trauma from the shooting led her to her death. She knew who did it.
Wow.
And it turns out the dispute was over a $1.3 million ranch renovation project. The trial against Serafini included text messages, evidence of his intentions to murder these people. I'm going to kill them one day, Serafini wrote in a text prior to the attack.
And
The
the lawyer
happiest-
probably said, "Oh, he's just joking."
No, the guy who got let go is probably the happiest day in his life. It's like, I don't have to represent this clown.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. So that's what I know.
They need to get the lawyer on The Simpsons, Lionel Hutz, to represent him. He'd be good. Yeah. God. Make it stop.
I know. So that's what I know. I'm looking forward to the game. 1:00 start.
Wow.
And
When
you'll
if you said you were looking forward to a Browns game?
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch it. And at 1:00, and that's Eastern Standard Time.
It is.
And you can catch it on NFL Network or WEWS TV5 in Cleveland and enjoy yourself. We'll be there at the half and after the game to hold your hands.
Aw.
That's what we're here for.
Contact the living. We'll have a seance.
Give peace a chance.
That's all we're saying.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Bronk, thanks for being with me. And we will be back with you again tomorrow. Until then,
Tomorrow.
hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.